Okay. I thought that they were going to have the same first quarter they've had in basically every game. And then when the Pacers were able to keep it tight, I was very surprised. But then the end of the third quarter, I was like, oh, that's a shame for Indiana. That little
end of the third quarter?
Yeah, because the quick little 6-0 run in the final 30 seconds of the third to where it went from Indiana up 1 to down 5. I'm like, oh, okay, now you lose. And not only did they not lose there, they dominated that quarter. The Thunder were the team that was out of sorts. The Thunder were the team whose superstar ran out of gas. The Thunder were the team who were grabbing their shorts. And the Pacers were great. And I recognize that since January, I am shocked, like truly shocked that not only did they win, but they didn't go 21 of 37 from 3, and it's just like, modern NBA. Nine of 27 from 3. Right. There was nothing that not only did they win, but they didn't go 21 of 37 from 3, and it's just like, modern NBA. They were 9 of 27 from 3. Right. There was nothing that happened last night. Mathurin scoring 27 in 22 minutes, right, is great, but we saw him score, I think, 22 in 20 minutes against the Knicks. Like, nothing that happened last night felt impossible or unsustainable. I'm stunned. I am utterly stunned by what happened.
All right. All right. I'll keep doing it. I choose my spots. I think I'm out here and brag about that town and gloat anymore, but I can throw it in there. But I'm surprised at how it happened. Not just that it happened, but how it happened. They beat OKC at its own game.
Yes.
The bench. Now, we know they both have good benches, but OKC's bench is viewed as better, even, and yet it was the bench of Indiana outscored them 49 to 18. And it wasn't just like Ben Mathurin and TJ McConnell were spectacular. And they turned the game in the second quarter. You mentioned the first quarter. Second quarter is when the game turned for the Pacers. It looked like it was going to get away from them in the first quarter. And the bench comes in with Halliburton on the bench, and they turn everything around. I think 40 points in that quarter. The bench scored more than half of those points. So the fact that their bench did it. Secondly, their defense. OKC is supposed to be the one making Indiana frazzled. It was OKC was the one turning the ball over. 19 turnovers. And Indiana turned those into points, 21 points, whereas OKC has not been able to do that this series. And last night they had 14 turnovers for Indiana. Still lost in a game, like Nick said, where Indiana didn't hit a bunch of threes. So the way it happened was also surprising. What didn't surprise me was that, and your statement surprised me, when they went into the fourth quarter down to 4, I believe, 4 or 5, I felt like, oh, you did? I felt like Indiana, because they're the fourth quarter team. Mm-hmm. They really are, and they are plus 27 in the fourth quarter in this series. They're plus 27 in the fourth quarter throughout the playoffs. So I felt like when they were within striking distance heading into the fourth, and then when it was tied with like 9 minutes left, I was like, oh, because I just felt like
Go pick up, boy.
He's kind of treating these final games like regular games as far as his rotation and his minutes because he wants them to have the extra push. The fact that we are this deep into the postseason and Tyrese Halliburton still has not played 40 minutes in a regulation game is remarkable. Last night, what
You told y'all that nigga nice, man. Y'all be hating on that nigga.
but I felt a game the Pacers had to have, and they did go into the fourth quarter trailing. Halliburton still 36. Respect everybody. Rain, like about 2 inches of rain, and the next day it rains 2 inches of rain. Damn, it's done. Yeah, I'm starting to rain. No one knows what I come.
What's this nigga doing, man?
The only reason I can't give you full credit, yes, and I'm not trying to undercut your credibility to the audience, but I feel like had Drew done what you wanted him to do, which is stick with the Pacers, you would have not only picked the Thunder, but you would have been talking about how the Thunder have a chance to go on a run because they're a historic.
it's not
Good shit, bro.
It's not terrible.
That shit count.
He scored 24, is not what they're used to. But again, 24 points is not
Pass.
But it was the turnovers, 6 of them. And Andrew Nimhard and Ben Shepherd, I mean, they, to a degree, probably didn't really got it that much. picking him up full court.
I love this.
Yes, that is, because you rarely do see that in the NBA. You rarely see them out picking up full court. And Nimhard, who, he knows from going up in Cannon and all that, like, he did a great job. You just want to make it tough for him. And they wore him down. You mentioned, hands on the knees and stuff like that. He only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And there is no question that was because of fatigue. No question about it. And
my fucking controller died. Shit.
He clearly did. And it got to SGA for sure. And like you said, Miles, this is what he's done in these game threes too, in these different series. So that was a spectacular defensive performance by Indiana. They flushed the MVP.
So here's what we're talking about. Game 1, he was averaging, what's that, about 34 points. Game 2, again, about 35 points. In Game 3, he had 18 against the Nuggets, 14 against the Wolves. And then 24, which is still good, but just far from 38 and 34 that he had earlier in the series. Yeah, and the turnovers were the worst part of it. And the worst part of it for the Thunder. Thunder had 19 turnovers this game. The Pacers only had 15, which 15 you usually wouldn't.
You've done it before. I'm just saying. There's a history there.
Inboxes, I have voted Brian. Not fair to bring that up.
Good rebound, boy. Good rebound.
I would like to compliment the officials through this whole series. I think they've been excellent. I think that this is an exceptionally difficult team to officiate. And I think they've done a good job. And it's not because it's like, oh, I'm complimenting them because they're letting them beat Shea the hell up. No, I think they're officiating him fairly, and I would like to compliment them on not making that a flagrant foul with 2 minutes left. That was not a flagrant foul.
I can see that.
It could have been in today's but he had ill intentions,
and he tried
I don't think he revved up. No, Richard Jefferson thought he did.
No, it was a hard foul. It was the type of foul that guys used to do 5 times a game. Well, I don't mean 40 years ago. I'm just thinking about like 2018 Cleveland LeBron. You know what I mean? Where it's like he's gonna get man one if I don't just put both arms on his shoulders. And the fact that it felt to me like tried to, after stopping the shot, break his fall a bit. Because that could have been
I didn't feel he tried to break his fall, but I agree with you. I didn't think it was flagrant. And I thought the refs, they set a tone early. Like, they called some fouls early on OKC that let you know this is not going. You're not going to be able to just grab and bump them all game long. So,
and both when they called those 2 fouls in the first minute, I was surprised each time, and then they showed the replay. I'm like, oh, that's an obvious foul. That's a definite foul, and they're setting the tone like, not that we're going to call everything, but you're not going to be able to clutch and grab that. All right, let's look forward now to Game 4 and beyond. There's Tyrese Halliburton, who's got his eyes set on a larger prize. Now, this is proprietary graphics, the first thing that has been out there bootlegging. The winner of Game 3 in the NBA Finals has won. The series tied 1-1. Look, the Pacers got an 80% chance of winning this. Okay? That's what it says. Vegas agreed, sort of. The Pacers' odds moved from plus 400 to plus 185. Vegas agreed the Pacers would right now be like, what did I say? Vegas agreed, sort of. Sort of, yeah. They're still underdogs, but he's starting to believe that Indy can win the title. Yes.
Well, otherwise, OKC's got to win the next 3 games. If it was,
or the Pacers win.
Or the Pacers win before that. But I definitely think they can win this series. There's no question about it. I would lean toward OKC in 7. I'm leaning toward that. But here's the thing: if it gets to 7,
Good shot. Flag it.
I actually think even though it will be in Oklahoma, and that's an advantage for them because they've been great at home. Remember, they're now 4-4 on the road in the playoffs. For a team that's won 68 games, been pretty dominant. Denver wasn't dominant, but been really good in the postseason. To be 4-4 on the road, so there's a lot.
2-4 if you take out the Grizzlies.
Right. I mean, the Grizzlies.
And then Ja was out by then. And
Yep. But so I can't say Indiana would have the advantage in the Game 7, but I think there is something to nobody thinking they were even going to get there, including the two teams. Like OKC is huge. Them being the biggest favorite ever? Was it? Or one of the biggest favorites ever?
Yeah, it would be the biggest favorite to ever win, tied with the 04 Pistons.
Okay, so one of the biggest favorites ever. And they're hearing that going into the series. They've been dominant throughout their season, hearing that they're one of the best teams ever, maybe in the dynasty in the making. And now you've got this team that's now in the 7th game. There's an advantage there for Indiana in their minds, the Pacers, because they know, we got this team. It's almost like the bully who thought he was going to roll over somebody. Now he finds out, okay, this is a tough fight, and now that can work against him. So I think if Indiana gets to 7, they got a great and
good shot. It's a good shot,
it's just like I saw last night. When it's tied with 9 minutes left, I feel like this is advantage Pacers. And so they are a clutch team. If it's close in a Game 7, 4th quarter, you got to be looking at Indiana in that point. So, and here's the other thing that they have, other than when they're not turning the ball over, they pretty much solved OKC's defense. Well, because they're shooting 48%, they're shooting 39% from 3. So even
turnovers is
that's the thing.
Yeah,
but 14 and 15, you can live with that. They averaged 12 in the regular season. They're one of the best, especially when they are not letting OKC turn these turnovers into points. That's their defense. They're just getting back and making sure even if we turn it over, we're not going to give them points. OKC's had 14 points off turnovers in each of the last 2 games. That's nothing when you've made 14 and 15 turnovers. So they got a real shot at this for sure.
I can't believe it, but yeah, absolutely they have a real shot. And I don't think the Pacers are looking at it like, let's get it through Game 7. I think the Pacers are looking at it like, if we don't lose at home, we're champions. And it's a crazy spot to be in, but I also think it's a slight advantage Indiana that this is the one quick turnaround spot where they play tomorrow. Every other game is 2 days between, and they play tomorrow. I think that all of a sudden, the Thunder, if you're diagonal, you're like, man, do I make another starting lineup change? Does Caruso go in the starting lineup? Do I go back to the lineup that going into the series was 80 and 18? Well, the team was 80 and 18. Primary starting. And then there is the added pressure for Shea, which is everything was in front of him. Best player in the league discussion was going to be there. The greatest seasons we've ever seen by a guard. We were having it. The start. We didn't do it on this show, but other shows certainly did. What's the next 5 years look like for this team? All of that is right there. And listen, you are allowed to have an off night. And I think last night, I don't think last night was an awful night. I think it was an off night. But Shea Gilgeous-Alexander walks into this Game 4 with the weight of the world on his shoulders. And it should be. That is the great thing about sports. And I, by the way, expect him to answer the bell. But it's just so much there where the Pacers, there is no scenario they are going to feel uncomfortable in. And there is no scenario that crowd in Indiana in Game 4 is going to feel like we're out. And that's a dangerous thing.
And this is no disrespect to OKC. I felt the crowd more last than I had in Games 1 and 2. They just singing more. It felt louder, I'm just watching on TV, but it just felt like they were having more of an impact on that game. Spirit of that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.
Hilton is bringing you more new ways to stay.
NBA basketball mind extraordinaire. But Rachel, before I can talk too much to you, go ahead, sir. Looking good. Yes, get that out your system, because though what Shady just said there was accurate, what Shady has been saying up to this point about the series has been wildly inaccurate. Coleman, do we have the sound, sir? We don't have the sound.
Listen to that?
No, it's fine. It's fine, because here's what I do need to do. Yesterday, James, you said something. You said that if the Pacers go up 2-1, that you might have to fix some things. Is it fair to say you owe the Pacers an apology?
Yeah, be a man. Be a
So, man, yes, sir, because I've been disrespecting them, not giving them a chance to win this series, and I said if they go up 2-1, I'll have to put some respect on their name. So I do apologize, because I thought this would be a gentleman's sweep. I did not think it would be close, and the Pacers are saying, watch this. And they went out there yesterday, from the star players to the bench players to the coach to the fans, and they went to work. And they beat down. No, I won't say beat down, but they beat the OKC Thunder, and they played extremely well, man, and they did what they've been doing all year long. Bench players, Tyrese Halliburton had a good game, 1 out of 2, but it mattered. He had a good game, but
he said a lot. He said a lot. You didn't say much. Are you apologizing?
I did say that.
What I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? He ain't listening. He ain't listening. I'm glad Rachel's here, because he ain't listening. I said I apologize.
He's always talking. All right. So real quick, so you apologize for
disrespect.
So wait, why are you getting
Yeah, I'm trying to.
The lady's name is also.
Alright? I don't see. I should walk up on
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even see the bar.
We sit right next to each other, you know? Like you ain't.
Only listen to Rachel here. That's it. Not y'all. So Rachel, I'm gonna say this. I don't apologize. Yeah. So I was thinking the other night, right? Because I knew you had this type of thing in there.
Last night.
Right? And it pays up 2-1. And I'm saying like, man, you owe them apology? Because I think that the Pacers are not the better team.
Yeah.
They're not the more talented team, right? I think that the MVP, SGA and his Thunder are. And I still think they're going to win. So what am I apologizing for? I think they're going to win the series. And the thing is, it just happens to be a little longer than I expect.
Yeah.
That's all.
A lot longer at this point in time.
I don't know about a lot longer. It's going to be a little longer. Or it's going to be longer.
Here's my say you owe the Pacers an apology. Tyrese Halliburton out there again. We questioned him. 22, 11. At this time, through three games, Pacers are up 2-1.
Yeah.
Halliburton is driving back in that team. He has a game winner. He has 22, 11, and 9. We'll get to Tyrese Halliburton later. For now, that was a mundane and a mediocre apology, but we move on for the sake of time. Pacers, good win or terrible loss by the Thunder? Rachel, I want to start with you. Good win by the Pacers, bad loss by the Thunder.
Good win by the Pacers. This is the paciest example of the Pacers pacering that we've ever seen. This is how they need to win. Rick Carlisle talked about it after the game. They need to play nearly perfectly to win in this series, and they did that. Think about all the things that the Pacers do well, right? So this is this team that sticks with a 10-man rotation. The best players play, which means the bench players have to play well, right? And they outscored the OKC bench. This is an incredible stat. 49-18. That's overwhelming. This is a team that makes its money forcing turnovers. They forced the Thunder into 19 turnovers, and at least 3 of those games were those 6 turnovers, right? Where just the receiver was not ready to play.
What you talking about?
We'll talk about that later, Sadie.
But right, like you can't let them do that. That was just sort of boneheaded, and that's what the Pacers were doing. Tyrese Halliburton.
The Thunder, at least up until this point. And I can tell that based upon the fourth quarter adjustments and the second half adjustments. In the fourth quarter, the Pacers have outscored the Thunder 35-25 game one, 33-30 game two, 32-18 game three. They are out coaching the Thunder. That's one reason. That's why the Pacers are here. That's why the Pacers have won 2 games thus far. And then when I think about it last night, the Pacers bench, Rachel alluded to it, but I found this fascinating. The Pacers bench was plus 40 in that game. The Thunder were minus 25. The Pacers won that game on the bench. Didn't necessarily win that game by the starters. The Thunder's best and the Pacers' best 2 players really a walk. Pascal Siakam had a good game for Pascal, not a great game. Tyrese Halliburton had a really good game, but meanwhile, Jay Dub had his best game of the season by far, and Shea had an okay game. It was an okay game. He had to work hard for 24 points. That game was won by the Pacers' bench. So to me, it was a phenomenal game by the Pacers. And I'll leave it by it like this, because JD and I... Anyway, and that's what we're saying. That's why to me, Shea, it was a really good place. Yeah. So who's Leo in this city? Supposed to be Shea. I say Ashley. Who's Leo? Julius Alexander. So you know what though? I do give a lot of credit to the Pacers. They played phenomenally, and maybe it's the style of play that I just can't really gravitate to. Right, the whole like college type game plans and all the you playing some players and everybody contribute for them to win, but. It's working for them. Yeah. Team, just that one has more star power than the other. Because you ask guys to play their roles extremely well, the Pacers have that. You ask a guy to go off the bench, like TJ, give me some, he does that. Benedict, he does that. And then Halliburton, hey man, you haven't been super impactful. Yes, the first game, you stole at the end, but be aggressive this game. He's aggressive. Yes. Everything you need this team to do, they're doing. That's why I do give him a lot of credit. It is hard for me just to think that the Thunder's going to lose. It's just because I watched them in a situation being down 2-1 against the Denver, against a 3-time MVP, and a well-coached team, and a team that had some experience, championship DNA. I seen it. And they came back and won them games. So I'm giving the Pacers some love because they deserve it. I don't hate. I keep it honest. They played well as a team. They're coached so well. Yeah. You deserve your flowers, dog, because you are out coaching everybody. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. So I give them their credit. I just think the Thunder will win this series. And you said something fascinating before you go. I want to throw you an alley-oop, and I'm actually curious. You said that through watching the first 2 games, the Thunder are just better. You're like, I just don't see how the Pacers go in. They're just better. We've now watched 3 games, maybe 72 minutes of basketball. Do you still see what you've been seeing, which I never saw, but you say the Thunder have been dominating the whole series?
I mean, game 3 helped a little bit, but I do still feel the same way. Because I was watching that game, number one, it was a great win by the Pacers, but I was watching that game. When J-Dub hit that 3 at the end of the third quarter, and they went up 5, I was like, the Pacers can't coach no better. By 5 going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, if they don't win this game, they're not going to win no game. You got 49 points by the bench. The best player on the court last night came off of the bench and was giving bucket after bucket after bucket and one hit threes when they need. I'm like, I don't know how they win a game in this series if they don't finish this game off and win this game. And kudos to them for finishing that off. Halliburton hit some big shots. The bench was absolutely great for the Pacers. But I still feel like when they take this court, I do not think they on the same level as the Thunder. I just don't. And they played their tails off last night, but you see that happening again? Of course.
Hey, Rachel, wow.
What he's saying, though, Shady, has to be addressed.
No, but I'm saying,
how much longer will y'all continue to say that the Thunder are that much better than the Pacers? How much longer?
So really quick, you see them outscoring the bench of the OKC Thunder like they did last night again?
I see it looking different. Remember, Obi Toppin game 1 had 18. Mathurin didn't really make an impact. Mathurin and TJ McConnell in game 2 both scored in double digits, but some of it was garbage time, if you will, the final 4 minutes of the game. James, I do see it happening again. It's just going to be a different name on the back of the jersey. I think that's what we have to start to digest is it's just going to look different, but it's going to be the same result. How do you not see that?
Call me crazy. That's tough for me to do.
Right. Well, like James Tate, sometimes he rocks with me.
Sounds everywhere.
Yeah.
But Rachel, I want to know, do you think it's over for the Thunder?
No, I don't.
Thank God. My bet's still alive.
But here is what I think. I think that people are waking up a little bit to just how good this Pacers team is. That They didn't get hit by a fluke. It wasn't like an easy walk to the finals. And it is my opinion that the longer this series extends, even if the Pacers lose the series, the more foolish the Knicks look for firing Tom Thibodeau on the basis of losing to this Pacers team. And look, I want to make it very clear, the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau for more than just a loss, right? I mean, there were a lot of institutional reasons, the way he runs things, that led to that decision. But the bottom line is this is a results-based business. You take your team to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals against a team that we are now seeing has the mettle to go toe-to-toe with the Oklahoma City Thunder, who some people thought was just sort of the best team in the league, not only this year, but in a while.
This isn't just a restoration. Because you got personality in space. This is your plan without market.
How does that make the next one? So I just think the more the Pacers do in this series, the more people in New York should start asking some questions.
Well, speaking about coaching, because you mentioned Tom Thibodeau, when I think about coaching, the difference in this series to me is coaching. Like, I don't know, Rachel, if Thunder fans, because if I was a Thunder fan, I would not be able to forgive the fact that in game 1, though we were 12-4 in the playoffs coming up to this point, we made a change to our starting lineup, even though the Pacers did not. I would not be able to forgive Dagnall for that. That made no sense, and that already said kind of what Shady said, giving flowers to Carlisle. That already told me the Pacers have an advantage. Yeah. Because you're 12-4 starting Hartenstein, Chet, Dort, J-Dub, and Shea. Why in the world, as a heavy favorite, are you going to adjust?
And you the big dog.
And you the big dog. Like, when Shady stepped onto the field before he was about to route up a linebacker or anything, I'm not going to change. made a point, I made a point. But now you look even crazy.
No.
Now you almost look like you're walking.
We see lineup changes in NBA finals, right? Andre Iguodala, like we've seen all kinds.
I'm saying, if you now you are exposing the fact that you were wrong. Like, because if you change the lineup in game one, and now by game 4 you're down 2-1, then you change it back. Now it doesn't try to win.
I'm sorry, did the Thunder not win game 2?
They did. They did.
Okay, so how long?
Because most people probably would have thought it's more likely to be 3-0 Thunder right now than 2-1 Pacers.
Okay, but the lineup, look, again, they may tinker with the lineup for the next, absolutely, and that could be something they should do. But I wouldn't say that anyone's scared of being wrong, only in that, first of all, they won a game starting that lineup, and it's only 2-1. It's not like, they lost a million of these games. And it was the smarter X and O play. There's no doubt about that. The question is, was that X and O smart play worth it? Was it worth it to do that? Because it disrupts a lot of what got you here. I don't think if they change again, it's going to be like, oh man, that's embarrassing, or oh, I think it's just make changes.
You ask these questions, you sat in these media scrums as you do, as one of the top journalists in the game for the last 30 years. If he makes his coaching change, and you're sitting in this auditorium, and he's up at the podium, and he announces the starting lineup, what's the first question you'd ask?
Oh, well, why? Right? The first question is why? Why? What did you see that made you do this? Why did you make this decision? Because he obviously didn't make the decision going into the series. So what changed? Look, we were talking in the pre-show meeting. Y'all were giving opinions on who was Patrick Mahomes and so on about winning Super Bowls. And look, if you don't learn from experience and you don't add to your game in terms of what you know, that's the most embarrassing, right? If you don't learn from watching Patrick Mahomes win all those Super Bowls, that's embarrassing. So if he's learned through these 2 games, he has to do something different, it's fine.
Hey, he should call a friend. Let him up.
Even when OKC was on offense, did you see what the Pacers' game plan was? When Hartenstein was in the game, when Shea got the ball, he turned his back. They flew off of Hartenstein because they know he ain't finna shoot it. Both of them can't be out there. He cannot sit back. He cannot sit back to that.
Is it me or and it's like in the fourth quarter, the Pacers' energy shifts and the Thunders don't. Because they was doing so many stupid like mistakes. Like I remember up in the third quarter, they were up like 5 or 6. And they score, TJ scores, and then he goes ball and he steals. I'm like, yo, why do we push this stupid turn?
But this is the
Not crashing the boards. Top of that, put that. I'm like, the energy's changing because their energy is changing.
Okay, but how much did coaches say to y'all growing up? Like, you got to close the quarter, right?
Yes.
Especially with the first and third, right? So everyone's a little hyped up before halftime or before the end of the game, but the first and third, you have got to win the end of those quarters because that is where things slip so often. And the Pacers are great at that. They're great at that for all 48 minutes, and they're, of course, especially great at that at the end of games.
No doubt about it. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show. This is the overall look. I'm like, even the goalie dresses up. People don't realize during when it was kind of boycotted and dress code, it was took nothing. Like, oh, I'm getting all the good. But I'm just sitting there looking like, they're not fashionable, man. They are, but they're not. It's a different fashion where they think they are, but they're not. Or they think they Shea, yes. The rest of them dudes, I'm like, they try, but they miss a lot. I think that shit was cool. He laid that shit out like, I'm kidding with this. No, not on this stage.
I think it's too much of trying to be different.
Yeah,
too much. Like everybody's trying to. They think it's a runway. It's like, we got another game tomorrow.
Yeah.
How you getting all this shit? But I just think about how they pack all this shit now when they come this weekend. I mean, when we practiced, we brought two bags, but Like some got big jackets, like they got
big
the
dumbass coats in June.
yeah.
Like fucking Tyrese Halliburton, that motherfucker with I ain't fucking hoodie on, nigga. It's June outside.
I got a jacket.
But it's y'all, you feel like y'all fucking different. Y'all niggas wear fucking hoodies and shit. It's like, oh, but that shit's different. They said this bit hard. People don't know. They sell it. I don't know when everything about it. They sell that shit. Like, it's a real thing where they.
If he rock this shit in Toronto, I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with Drake, but I got posters. I fuck with Drake, but if he rap this in Toronto, if he rap this line in Toronto, I got a poster. I got a poster. If he rap this line and a bunch of Canadians is jacking it, I'm posting. I'm sorry. I love y'all, Canada. I love Toronto. Everybody knows Toronto's really my favorite city. But if he rap this line in Canada, that's all I need to know. Kendrick's story. I'm telling y'all now, I don't care what Drake tells me. Drake gonna have to be like, Act, you really close to that? Yo. That nigga came to your city and rap. I'd rather do that than let a Canadian nigga like Pop Turner is great. A LA nigga came to Toronto and rap this out loud and every 40,000 people scream. I'm sorry. He got it.
Keep running, nigga.
What is it a break? If that shit get rapped, nigga, I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna be just for that. It's gonna be like this. I promise. I keep it beat. I keep it a bean. I keep it a bean. I'm hip hop. That's a moment. Yeah. Now, not like us. He didn't say nothing about Canada.
Bro, he matched the ball. Nigga was pop.
No, he could. Of course, he could do this. What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck is he doing?
He could definitely do this.
No, nigga. That's my nigga DJ. I can
say nothing about.
What's pop? How you living? Appreciate you tuning in.
Oh, no. Don't speak on the family pros. If you say that part too, I'm posting that too. Yes, that's who I am. You learn about me, okay? I'm the one who did the one shot right. I did research, okay? Too bad. If he said don't speak on the family pro, no, that's a euphoria. If he said don't speak on the
ball so bad, damn.
If he said this, anybody going to the concert, get a phone recording of Euphoria, and any Canada mentions, keep 6 solid, I love y'all. 6 Buzz, I love y'all. But if that man stands in a stadium in Canada,
Got the big shorts, so yeah, hopefully they just get the drip right.
Dang, it's like coming full circle because it's like 2003 draft class, and then we went skinny, we went short shorts, and now we're kind of going back to the baggy shorts. Facts. Okay. Speaking of drip, you have your first signature shoe with Puma. Congratulations, that's awesome.
I think they were really open to my ideas and my family ideas when it came to designing the shoe. And it was a fun process, just with the colorways, and I was able to really just create and be myself with my sister, she helped a lot.
I heard there's a 2K
Yeah, we got
version?
the 2K colorways. Got the little green meter on the bottom. And on the game, it light up. So
Really?
yeah, the forum strip light up, so that's hard.
Speaking of youth, you launched your own boys and girls youth programs a couple of years ago. What's it like to see the upcoming talent in those programs?
Yeah, I do have two programs with women's and boys. School Henderson Elite and Team Scoop. Really just right out of my gym in Marietta, Georgia, Next Play 360. Growing up, I always played on my dad's AU team, and I always just played on the AAU circuit. And for me to kind of infiltrate that it's fun to see how it's growing, just how much of a community center it has turned into, just welcoming a lot of people, a lot of young cats just coming through there. And it's not just basketball, it's, you know, a lot of things like school, ODDX gaming, like we got a lot of things going on at Next Place, so.
Young cats, I like that.
Like an OG.
It's OG-esque.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Ooh, Allen Iverson, I used to watch a lot of his videos on him. Kobe, you know, the Lil Wayne Kobe mixtape. I used to watch that like every day before I went to school. And Russell Westbrook highlights, it's always crazy.
When you were talking about your drip and the large shorts, I was literally thinking AI.
Oh, yeah,
So, yeah.
You got the big drip for sure.
You got those big shorts. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on 2K TV.
Appreciate it.
In season 5, Rodney and Brian sent me a message, say, hey, let's get on, let's run some 3v3. And as luck would have it, we saw none other than Portland Trailblazer DeAndre Ayton. So he was running a shooting guard, a two-way inside-out ISO creator, and I drew the matchup as the guard for Team 2K TV. And the first sign that I was going to be in trouble, he's averaging almost 15 points a game in the city. That is wild in a game to 21. First play, he darts past me on a backdoor and slams it home, and I knew I needed to ready up my game quickly. So I dart up court, I actually got by him and slammed one down on my own, which felt fantastic. He dunks past me again, 11-10, and I'm like, yeah, this team knows what they're doing. DeAndre is clearly capable in 2K. Final score, 21-12. Yeah, they pretty much shut us out from there, but so much fun was had. And this is just what's great about playing 2K in the city. Earlier in the year, we ran into Keon Ellis in the rec. Yeah, we got this one.
So you're just messing around.
Nice take.
I played with Draymond Green from the Warriors randomly. You just don't know. Could be a celebrity, could be an NBA star. There's so much fun to be had, even if it's just with your friends making memories. That's why I 2K.
All right, how many siblings do I have? Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8? Now, if you went to 6, enjoy that VC, man.
The 2K Share feature is where you can create or download My NBA Leagues created by the 2K community.
Browse through countless leagues or set up your My NBA save any way you like.
This includes full customization of the teams, rules, and the ability to share to anyone.
This is a perfect way to explore eras of the past, experiment with players or draft classes from multiple eras, or create rule combinations that have never existed anywhere else.
In a way, it's your chance to make and share your own version of professional basketball.
Once you're ready to share, go to the options, upload a scenario, and send out your favorite My NBA scenario for the 2K community to check out. Enjoy the fun. There's nothing else like
At center, at 17, number 32, Carl Anthony Towns.
Hi, everyone. Time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, giving us the rundown from the sideline courtside, David Aldridge. Look at the opening lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies. Morant is the point, with Bane out on the wing. Wells is out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Edey in at the 5 spot. And for the Knicks, we've got Mikal Bridges. Josh Hart out there with Towns. Then it's OG Anunoby. And it's Brunson in at the 1. All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
Now here's Morant. And here is Wells. Back to Morant. Shot clock at 6. Going inside and finished off by Morant.
How about the authority from Morant? The way he was running, you knew he was aiming to shatter the rim.
Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
Now here's Morant. Jalen Brunson missing his last shot. Morant drives in, and the layup's good off the glass.
Hard trying to contain Morant. When he makes up his mind he's going to score, he goes full force.
Towns a screen on Morant. And it's Brunson missing. And so it's Bain with it. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. Outside Jackson. Up top, Morant. Brunson covering. Morant scanning the floor. Over Brunson. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Morant's got his third bucket of the night.
This is what Morant does best. A natural scorer who does it in a variety of ways.
It's an accident.
All right, you gotta respect the eyes. I told you, crazy. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them.
Sports gaming.
It's so complicated. It's so complicated and uncomplicated. So complicated.
Today we have your affiliation lead.
I'm doing good, doing good. How you living, man? Appreciate the tune in, man. Well, shit, I'm just trying to on the way to 500, If you can't check out that reaction, man, the reactions, new to my channel, man. I got 2 reactions up right now. I just posted one earlier this morning, man. 2 Wiz Khalifa joints. I fuck with them joints. If you can, fuck with it. My name David, man. You know what I'm saying? Almighty Blaze, man. Almighty Glow Blaze is the channel. My name David, you feel me? You know how we get litty in my city, nigga. No Diddy, you feel me? Anybody see me? Acknowledge a real nigga when you see me. I smack shit out. Anybody see me back to the grocery store? We ain't playing no games on DD. CC and Bonta, nigga, on VD.
My teammates of the pressure of having to play on-ball defense. In this way, I could play on-ball defense and still orchestrate the offense.
And what are some of the
Yeah, basketball my favorite, man. My number 1 sport, man. Love basketball to death, man. Basketball my sport, man. I love basketball to death. But I fuck with a little bit of baseball, a little bit, but I don't really watch it like that. But I'm just starting to watch a little bit of NHL. I'm fucking with that, man. You know what I'm saying? NHL is pretty cool to me. I feel like that's the hardest sport, honestly. And I feel like what they do is a real craft. So football is cool, but it's really like my last favorite sport, if you want to be honest. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I am into sports and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I love it. But my gaming revolves around a whole bunch of different shit. Like I play shooting, gaming, fighting. I love Mortal Kombat, fucking, Marvel vs. Capcom, fucking, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Get into a Street Fighter. I got all that. You know what I'm saying? UFC. You know what I'm saying? I play a little bit of Madden on deck. You know what I'm saying? We get litty in my city. All types of shit here. On this channel, we get all types of litty on here. You know what I'm saying? In my city. Oh, that's what's up. What's your channel? I subscribe. What's your channel? You play 2K? We can hop on. You play 2K? What's pop? I'm at work. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit make me nervous. So, you like, you know, I said, Brady. You gotta make sure. I had to make sure. Healthy is car and parking lot. Nothing. What do you do? So when you ask me that shit, like, I'm gonna keep it deep. My face kind of scrunched up a little bit because I'm like, hey, I just said I'm at work. Like, you heard me say I'm at work. You just heard me say I'm at work. It says, so you got it. You got the same point of 3 days.
It's cool. Running up there on that crib, as he's saying, as they don't go on that crib, I'm watching them fade away, so I can't see them walk to the building. I'm like,
Here with Grant Hill and Richard Jefferson, this is Brian Anderson. Joining us from the sidelines,
Yeah, glow. You already know. Almighty glow, because we all glowing. You feel me? That's why we here, because we all glow. You heard?
Oh, yeah, this should be a battle on the baseline. Great to watch skilled bigs trade blows and show off what they can do down low. Here's Prince.